So I'm gonna try something new here. Um, you can figure from the title. This is me basically just kind of reacting, reviewing, debating all the manga I read in the last week, which is generally just at this point weekly Shonen Jump, weekly chapters. I do want to read more. I have a whole bunch of comics and manga and books I'm trying to get through, just because I've been getting back into reading books. It takes me like a month to get through a full non-illustrated novel. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna try and get straight into it. So first up is Moebana chapter 11. So basically, this is if you don't know what the series is, it's a new series. Basically, a dude who just is a otaku, an anime otaku, joins the flower arranging club at his school. For basically, he's got a little sister who's very ill, and she never really is happy because obviously. And then when she sees some flowers he brought in, she smiled and was happy, and now he's just clearly trying to make her happy, which is cute. And also, side note, in that first chapter, I remember I thought the sister died and was just like, Jesus, this escalated. No, she just collapsed. So in this chapter, we've kind of just met this new character the last chapter. We're kind of getting to know a bit more about them. Diego, they're from Okinawa, and it's kind of typical of shonen. He's like, oh, he's friendly, and then he kind of says, hey, want to battle? And it's like, oh, that's. And then Subame notes that Diego doesn't seem his usual self, which is like, wonder what that means. So this was okay. I think I like this series. I think it's not the like. It's a typical shonen in a nice new coat, but it's fine because the coat is nice and interesting to look at, because it's that generic premise of your plucky protagonist, the dark brooding rival, the other characters who may or may not matter. It depends how the series goes. I mean, it's got nice art. The protagonist has an interesting look and appealing look. That's kind of why I was pulled in. I was like, oh, I like this guy's look. This is aesthetically pleasing, and it's able to get me interested in a premise about flower arranging, which is impressive in itself. I can't remember what I was saying now because I had to pause it. And I am fucking knackered. I think the thing is with Shonen Jump, I think a lot of us kind of let Weekly Shonen Jump get away with what they do, in that they're able to give you the same premise over and over again in terms of what I said, because no matter what happens, you're able to take that premise and apply it to anything, and it can become interesting if it's done well. I think the same for any series, but specifically Shonen Jump, what they do. So yeah, that was good. Next up, Black Clover, chapter 337. So I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna treat these like you've read the chapter, because otherwise I'm just gonna spend too long trying to explain. So Asta's in the land of the sun. We get this doll that looks like Charmy, and then it just drops tea out of its mouth, and Asta's just the funniest confused face. I just loved it. And then we get someone who's very similar to Yami. And the final page, you had that money shot of the land of the sun, looking very, old school. Everyone says feudal Japan. I'm never sure. My brain sometimes goes medieval times, just because I'm from Europe. But just before, like the 1500s or whatever. That's generally what I say. And the guy we've been chatting to who looks like Yami is called Ryuya Ryudo, and he's going to help Asta get stronger. So, holy shit, this chapter was great. I love it. The guy Ryuya clearly has some kind of eye power that allows him to observe everything that's going on in the world. So, Black Clover version of the Sharingan? I'm down for that. and this country has a way to heal Asta's wound that even only Mimosa could pull off. So I'm guessing this will somehow Mimosa will be taught by these people their way of healing that allows her to surpass her current limits as they do in Asta, and this will teach Asta to get stronger. So what will that be? Because we've had True Magic and Ultimate Magic introduced last arc, and I can see Asta truly awakening his Mana Zone, and obviously the general power base. This would be cool to see in general. I remember when the series started, I kind of had this idea of, is all his weapons going to be swords? And I kind of like this idea of like he wouldn't, and maybe like Bleach where Ichigo kind of just kept getting his sword shattered, especially in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, but instead of Asta like takes all his previous swords and forges like a new katana out of that, and then gets other weapons. Like he treats it very much like a hammer anyway. So and given the European mythology and European influences and whatever, I could totally see Asta having a hammer and maybe like an axe and a mace. And it's not really a style, but I could see a bow and arrow just for something more long term. Although if you had the mace, make it like the melee mace kind of thing on a chain, that'd be cool. That was a fucking tangent. So apparently Ryuya talks about knowing Yami from when they were kids, and apparently Yami is scared of moths, and it just made me think it was not going to happen. I would love to see Mothra in this somehow. Like, just this world's take on Mothra as like a giant kaiju. Well, she is a kaiju anyway. Just as a giant monster that just kind of lives in the land of the sun. So that'd be hilarious. I think Ryuya, I'm probably saying his name wrong. Ryuya, I don't know. I'm sorry. I think he might have spies on the Clover, or on the Clover continent, shall I say? Maybe those little dolls. Imagine if it turned out that the little dolls were actually like kids' dolls and they were actually spying on everyone the entire time. That'd be hilarious and freaky. Because like clearly his eye powers, whatever it is, has some link to this. But part of me was, is it just that, or have you got like spies? Because Nacht was a spy in the Spay Kingdom for ages, so it could be something similar. And obviously, I'm wondering what this is going to happen with this final saga. I'm kind of calling it the Angel Saga for now, because I think that's where the Wizard Emperor is going, basically angels with this. And we had Magna beat Dante last time, so I think anything is possible in this series, really, to a degree. Like, I'm not expecting this to be completely bonkers and blow everything and do nothing that's been seen before, but I think that what I like about the series, it does enough to subvert tropes in some forms. Like, I think what I love is, I just love that they truly found a way that didn't feel like an asshole to have the weakest member of the Black Bulls beat the strongest, one of the strongest characters, and it was so well done. It was so goddamn hype. Oh god, if they actually bring the anime back and give that like good quality animation, I might just cry. Maybe. But also, man, Dante just got nout but L's all the way through that arc. And so yeah, I wonder what the circumstances behind Yami leaving his homeland are. Like, I don't think it's as simple as he got cast out by the tide. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what they said originally. I look back now and think Yami was probably lying and it's something more. Maybe he was running from something. I wonder what was happening with his family. Like, I had the idea. I wonder if his parents even knew. And if Ryuya, who is the shogun of the Land of the Sun. The problem is I keep wanting to say Wano. Because I think we've just had the Wano arc finish in One Piece. And but what I wonder is, how is Ryuya and Yami tied together? Because I'm interested in that, obviously. But we'll have to say and see. So I'm briefly going to cover Akane-Banashi. I love the cover, cover with they did at the beginning with the Breakfast Club tribute. that's always fun. So the older student, because we've met all the other students of I've forgotten his name, the mentor character, old man. You know who I mean if you know the series. Met all the other students yet, and now we get to meet this guy Makeru, and he is a flirt. I'm just like, I both love and hate him already. Like, the dude is drinking, he's getting pissed, he's teasing the other students, he's flirting with Akane's teacher, and I'm like, you dirty bastard, I love you. It's just like, oh god. Like, I think he's one of the characters where it's like, if he was written as a villain, you would kind of love to hate him. Kind of like a, oh my god, that's it, he's Gaston. He's kind of like Gaston. I like that. But he's not as bad as Gaston, obviously. But god, what I just love about but what I loved about this, I mean, it was so wholesome. Everyone was just so happy for Akane. Like, you won, great. Like, they had those treats from the person, and they're all just getting drunk except Akane, obviously. And then the teacher turns up when they're all drunk, and he's only mad because he's like, "No, you're not doing it right." And I love this. I love this chapter. It's a chill chapter, which isn't rare, but it's like the way it's done is just so. I love it. I just wish more series, not just in Shonen, but just series in general, would do this with their series, and where if you're gonna have them chill, the way it feels really genuinely chill. It makes me feel like warm and fuzzy and just like, oh, this is so nice, and it doesn't feel like, I don't know how to say it. It just feels genuine, I guess. I don't think I said it's chapter 29, by the way. And it ends with a little cliffhanger of she's going to have a chat with her mentor, teacher. Oh boy. I should clarify, her school teacher was the one being flirted with. The old man is the mentor. That'll be an interesting one next week. I don't think it's going to go bad. I think I'm just going to be interested to see where it is. And so last chapter I read this week because there's no My Hero Academia and other stuff. One Piece chapter 1059. See, this is what we should have gotten last week with Yamato not joining after every damn sign pointing to it. Because I remember a few times I did think to myself, maybe Yamato does need to stay and protect Wano, because when the Straw Hats are gone, people are going to come back. And this chapter we got that with Yamato being like, yeah, after that Green Ball guy showed up, we clearly need to have people still here to fight. And Yamato clearly was the only one who could stand a chance against Green Ball, so I think he needs to stay, and I get that. And it sucks because I was so ready for Yamato to join. I was so happy about it, and it does just feel like a bit of a rug pulled from under us. But this could have been a chapter earlier, and it would have pissed off a lot less people. But anyway, back to the main stuff that happened this chapter. Is holy shit! So Blackbeard showed up while the Marines were attacking Amazon Lily, and he wants Bo Hancock too. And then we get these Seraphim Pacifistas with white hair, brown skin, but black wings, and it's like, I wonder what that's based off. Gee, clearly not Lunarians. And then at one point I was like, I knew it! I knew this, that little Seraphim at the beginning looked like Boa. Because everyone was talking about Mihawk, I was like, but it looked like her. But I realised it was two different ones. And so Blackbeard gets grabbed, Boa gets grabbed by Blackbeard, and he wants her powers. Everyone but Kobe got turned to stone, and it can't be undone if her powers are taken. So I did have this weird moment of, hang on. So everyone in the vicinity got turned to stone by Boa's fruit because it's people who are in love with her or have the hots for her or whatever. So I'm like, but Kobe isn't into Boa. Is Kobe gay? And it's like, it's not gonna happen. This is shonen. The only gay characters you get are the extremely stereotypical ones. But I would love that. I would genuinely like, you know what? Reasonable headcanon as far as I'm concerned. So the Rocky Port incident, now it turns out Blackbeard was involved, and I'm like, what the fuck happened here? Because I know Law was there, And I'm thinking maybe Blackbeard tried to like indoctrinate him into his crew, like, Law, come join my crew, and Law was like, fuck off. I mean, none of your bullshit. But then that turned into a fight, and the Marines would never admit to working with pirates. So I could see it be like Law and Kobe teaming up to fight Teach and maybe save civilians as well. Oh god, I hope we get a flashback of this. This will be so good. So great to see. And then we also get this mention of Wang Ji was boss of Pirate Island, which is where Blackbeard is currently based. I believe it's the Hachinosu. And so Teach defeated a member of the Rocks pirate crew and took his turf, which is very intriguing because obviously everyone's thinking that Blackbeard is actually Zebek's son, and I don't think he's his son, but I could see some kind of inheritable stuff there. But Wang Ji actually being name dropped and referenced is interesting because I thought he was going to be not really referenced much. But Rayleigh then showed up, and just him being there scared Blackbeard into listening. And then we get that little note at the end. Even Rayleigh's like, no, I would have lost to Blackbeard if we fought, which is like, okay. But so he decided to be the moderator to calm all of it, which I kind of like the idea of him just turning up and being an old man to be like, oh, you, the whippersnapper, sit the fuck down. We are talking about this now. And then we get that final few pages, and also, was it mentioned that Rayleigh's wife, Mrs., girlfriend, partner, whatever, was head of the Kuja pirates like 20 years ago or 2 generations ago? Because everyone had a theory she was in the Rocks pirates, which I don't know. So the ending is insane. Kobe got kidnapped. Like, what the fuck? I reckon he gave himself up to save everyone kind of thing. Like, this him mediating, Kobe would have been like, I'll take, if you leave Boa and let everyone be saved, you can take me. And that makes sense for Kobe. The question is, what would Kobe have to offer Blackbeard? The first thing that comes to mind is, well, we know Teach wants to fight Luffy so he can become closer to becoming the Pirate King, whatever. For Teach to become Pirate King, but it's like, so would Luffy come to rescue Kobe? Because I think he would, but it's also a bit like, is that it? Because knowing Kobe, even though he's not like deep into like, well, he's not deep into the very dark parts of the Marines, I do think that he might know he must know something that he can offer Blackbeard, like not the location of the Lodestar Island or whatever, but like he's like, I can tell you where to find this thing, whatever that thing will be. And yeah, that's gonna be, this is One Piece, so that's just the millionth of a million plot threads we're gonna just have to keep track of. So chapter of the week for me is probably gonna be Akane. I mean, I liked everything here, but just I go off emotions a lot, especially with this, and emotionally I felt that, well, god, that's so dumb. I felt the most emotions reading Akane. It was just so wholesome and made me so happy just reading this. I was just like, I want more chapters like that. I want more chill chapters to just get me that way. And I would love to see that from everyone. So yeah, what was your favourite chapter this week out of what you've read or what was out this week? If you got any recommendations, I'm here to read. I'll happily read anything. But it should be noted, I have several extremely long lists of books, mangas, comics, everything to read. So it would be read maybe eventually. Can't guarantee that. Alright. See you in the next video. Bye.